Hi, I'm Sarah Taylor. I'm an awakening trail guide and an intuitive energy healer. And today I want to talk about when you get at that moment on your path where you feel stalled, you feel stuck, you feel at a plateau. Why aren't you healing more deeply? Why aren't you awakening more fully? Why aren't you having the spiritual experiences you maybe want to have? Why aren't you experiencing a healed kind of life that you are really ready for? And when people come to me and I feel this sense of kind of frustration and urgency of like, what do I do? What do I do? What's the next practice? What am I not looking at? What kind of inquiry can I be doing to really unhook from my mind and have the heart of non-duality open up so that I can realize my true nature, the nature of reality? It's a beautiful impulse and it's a beautiful sacred movement. But also what is life asking of you? And so this is a bit of the healing and alignment piece, because I see just on my own path and in working with lots of people over the years, awakening, healing, and alignment with your true path, with what is highest and best for you, most authentic, is what this is about, you know. Awaken to our true nature, heal, digest, integrate, embody our insights, our healing, our wisdom, our wounds, and listen to where we're being drawn in our life so that we can be authentically aligned. So what is life asking of you? That's always a good place to start. When people are kind of confused and they don't know what spiritual practice to do or what healing modality to throw themselves into for the next 6 weeks, what is life asking of you right now to pay attention to? It might not be fun. It might be your taxes. It might be finding a way to get more sleep because you're working 3 jobs to support your family, or you're in school, you're raising children, or you feel isolated. Maybe life is asking you to step out of your comfort zone and connect more. Go to a coffee shop, just sit there. You don't have to talk to anybody. Feel that human connection. What is rubbing up against you? What is life asking you to pay attention to? And also, what is feeling good? What is captivating your mind and heart? And look, neurodivergent folks, we can get super hyper focused on stuff and just narrow down, hone in, zero in on something and get a little obsessive. But within that, what is life asking of you? To do the dishes? I have to do my dishes. And in that moment, maybe you're exhausted. So maybe life is asking you to find some balance between what you need to do, which is rest, and what you should do, which is wash the dishes. Maybe it's okay to leave them in the sink overnight. And so to use this wisdom and compassion and discernment, well, what's here? What's really here? Now we can get caught up in, well, what's the right thing to focus on? Well, what is life asking me? It seems life is asking me to focus on a whole bunch of stuff. You can start to notice what themes are arising. Maybe there are themes of connection or disconnection. Maybe there are themes of stability or responsibility. Maybe there are themes of playfulness and letting loose. Maybe there's a theme of being yourself, whatever that means, the totality of your being. Unmasking. What is life asking of you? To make changes? Or to keep things steady right now because now's not the time? That is your spiritual practice, right here in the thick of life. I've had a friend say who likes to come to my awakening support groups, God is on the journey too. And I would agree with that. Consciousness as a whole is evolving. Enlightened, awake awareness knows how to reveal itself and revel in itself in monasteries and ashrams and nunneries, retreat centers. But infinite, boundless, awake awareness living through you as a householder, living a modern, complicated, messy life, doing all the things that you do, the relationships, figuring out work and money and food and heart callings and creativity and health. It's not just you, your consciousness waking up to itself and being embodied in this body and this life of yours. It's awake consciousness as a whole. It's humanity. It's the consciousness of humanity evolving by waking up in each of us, living these complicated lives. So we are all learning together. Because more people are awakening. And more people, I think, are realizing that there's always been this sense of true nature, of stillness, of silence, of awake awareness that's always been here in the background, no matter what has happened, no matter what has come and gone. Have you noticed there are more sensitive people? More people are realizing they're neurodivergent. Maybe there are more neurodivergent people. Maybe we've always been here. It's a little of both. And maybe you don't agree with me that human consciousness is evolving and wants to learn how to live enlightenment through these bodies, hearts, and minds and nervous systems in a complicated, messy world. And that's okay. But I think that's what's happening. I think God is on the journey too. So what is life asking of you right now? Get quiet. Where is your heart called? Maybe something needs to be played out. I did stand up and acting for a long time. Many of you know I don't do it anymore. But I kept thinking I was done with it. And life just, that's where I was meant to place my attention, my creativity. Kind of makes sense to me now. It was a wonderful way to work out and work through certain themes in my life, to bring creativity to audiences, to work out something emotional. It was karmic, it was dharmic, it needed to play out. Same thing with relationships. Have you ever been in a relationship and you're like, why isn't this ending? I know I need to break up with this person or end things, or I feel so drawn to this person who I don't know very well. And there's something pulling us. Yes, it can be our wounds, of course. It's not always this high dharmic calling, right? To stay in a certain type of relationship or when we're drawn towards somebody. But something needs to play out, perhaps, with awareness, with awake eyes. Something isn't finished yet in your life. You want to hurry up and get to the next thing, but maybe this is where you are. Maybe there's a liminal space that you're in. Maybe life is asking you to rest in the not knowing, in the liminal space, in the in-between, in the mystery, in confusion, perhaps. There've been so many times in my life I was confused about what I was here to do or which decision to make. And sometimes, confusion is here. Maybe life is asking me to just surrender into it. I don't know. Maybe life is asking you to do some uncomfortable things right now. You don't have to torture yourself. You don't have to suffer to awaken and heal, by the way. I hope you know that. If you've been watching my videos or working with me, you know that. But we're also not meant to just have blissful, ecstatic experiences. We're here to really live. And there's a wider, boundless space in which all of it arises, and all of it is being experienced. And so we're not being taken off of our path. If we've been diligent spiritual practitioners, getting somewhere in our meditation practice, and then, I gotta go focus on this now. I gotta walk the dog, or I've got to deal with this issue in my life that is just knocking on my door, yelling at me to pay attention to it. Many of you know enlightenment awakening isn't going to erase your humanity. It's not going to make everything perfect in your life. The peace that passeth all understanding is exactly that, because the mind can't comprehend how there can be peace here, even if chaos is erupting in your life. And you don't just sit back in the peace. You might step forward and do something and be given direction somehow, spontaneously, through presence of what to do next, so we don't turn away from it. But the peace that passeth all understanding isn't about everything being perfect. So never mind chaos. It's just life, right? Mundane stuff. Who's going to pick the kids up from school? And did we call the accountant about taxes? And I think I need to bring my computer in, and I have holes in my shoes and don't have enough money to buy another pair. Maybe I can borrow from a friend or something, whatever it might be. Life will continue to ask us to pay attention to its details and the circumstances, the ever-changing circumstances. And there can be a peace with that. We can come to peace with the fact that, life goes on. It's experienced differently. The deeper awakening unfolds from the mind into the heart, into the body, the gut, your whole being. Life is experienced quite differently. And there is a radiating outward of that, where circumstances do start to shift a bit, but nothing becomes perfect. So we start now. What is life asking of you? What are the themes that are coming up in your life for you to pay attention to and open your heart to and have compassion with yourself about? Maybe have compassion for others. So I hope this was helpful. I'd love to hear from you. What is life asking of you? Life's asking me to make some changes, or to rather surrender to the flow of changes. There are changes. And there isn't resistance, but I'm paying attention. So what is life asking of you? Please like and subscribe. Hit the bell if you want to be notified about future videos. And thanks so much for being here. Till next time.